This video provides a detailed technical analysis of Tornado Cash, exploring the paradox of zero-knowledge proofs and legal implications based on events and technologies up to the end of 2025. We explore the Tornado Cash paradox. The code is free, but the developers are not. In late 2024, a U.S. appeals court ruled that immutable smart contracts are not property and are not subject to OFAC sanctions, which were officially revoked in March 2025. However, the co-founders faced global prosecution, emphasizing the core question: how can a technology be simultaneously legal and illegal? Tornado Cash breaks the on-chain link between sender and receiver. While public blockchains are transparent, Tornado Cash acts as a decentralized mixer. Users deposit fixed crypto amounts into a communal pool and later withdraw the same amount to a new, unconnected address. More deposits increase the anonymous set, enhancing privacy. Step 1 involves the deposit generating a cryptographic proof of ownership or commitment. The user's wallet generates a secret and a nullifier. These are hashed together to create a unique, quote, commitment. This commitment is sent to the smart contract along with the fixed ETH amount. The secret and nullifier are never revealed on-chain. Step 2 uses ZK snarks to confirm the right to withdraw without revealing secrets. To withdraw, the user must prove to the smart contract, "I know the secret and nullifier from a quote, 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 quote." This is achieved using a cryptographic proof without exposing any additional information. The nullifier prevents a single deposit from being withdrawn multiple times. If only the secret was used, an attacker could generate the same proof repeatedly. During withdrawal, the user publicly reveals the hash of the nullifier hash, along with the ZK proof. The smart contract verifies the proof and checks if the nullifier hash has been previously used to prevent, quote, double spend. The Merkle tree efficiently manages thousands of commitments. Storing and checking thousands of commitments in an array is too expensive on Ethereum. Instead, all commitments are stored as leaves in a cryptographic structure called a Merkle tree. A ZK proof verifies a commitment's inclusion in the list by proving the path from the leaf to the public, quote, root. This check is efficient, depending only on the tree's height, not the number of deposits. Technical optimizations ensure on-chain efficiency. Tornado Cash uses an incremental Merkle tree with a fixed depth of 32 levels to avoid recalculating the entire tree with every deposit. Additionally, it uses the MIMC hash function, which is ZK-friendly, making the proof generation significantly cheaper and faster than standard cryptographic hashes. While the court deemed the code immutable, the technical reality is complex. The core mixing logic is immutable, meaning no one can directly control, change, or delete it. However, the architecture uses proxy contracts allowing for logic updates, and a governance DAO controls administrative functions like parameter updates, indicating a degree of control that challenges absolute immutability. Theoretical control became reality with a DAO attack in May 2023. An attacker exploited a vulnerability in the DAO proposal system by submitting a seemingly legitimate proposal with a hidden self-destruct function. After the community voted yes, the attacker activated the code, gaining control over 1.2 million votes and draining 483,000 Torn tokens from the governance treasury. This proved that governance mechanisms present a real attack vector, complicating the argument of a, quote, fully uncontrolled protocol. The Van Loon versus Treasury precedent established that immutable code is not, quote, property. The court ruled that OFAC overstepped its authority under the IEEPA, which allows sanctioning, quote, property or interest in property. Property implies the ability to possess and control, which immutable self-executing smart contracts lack. Consequently, sanctions against the protocol itself were deemed unlawful and led to its delisting from the SDN list. The focus shifted from sanctioning code to prosecuting operators. Since sanctioning the code failed, the US government focused on people. Roman Storm was convicted not for writing code, but for conspiracy to manage an unlicensed, money-transmitting business. Prosecutors successfully argued that maintaining the service, profiting over $12 million, and knowing it was used by criminal groups like Lazarus Group, outweighed the technical decentralization argument. The revocation of sanctions and elimination of competitors led to a volume rebound. In the first half of 2025, deposits in Tornado Cash exceeded $1.8 billion. This surge was due to legal clarity and a market vacuum after the main competitor, Sinbad.io, was liquidated by the US government. The WHACA mole effect suggests illicit demand simply returns when a secure mixer is available. A new risk paradigm for DeFi moves from sanctioning code to prosecuting operators. Key takeaways are that deep, technical decentralization offers legal protection for the code. However, developers remain vulnerable if they maintain operational control or profit, risking classification as a money-transmitting business. Privacy remains fragile, as regulatory pressure can shrink the, quote, anonymous set. Regulators will likely focus on exchanges, UI providers, and updated IEEPA legislation. The Tornado Cash story is not about winning or losing, but about changing the battlefield. Fighting immutable, decentralized code with traditional sanctions is ineffective. Future regulation will focus on the human factor: developers, operators, and intermediaries interacting with protocols. For Web3, true decentralization requires not just technical immutability, but operational and economic hands-off standards to minimize legal risks.